아직도 들어와서 여기 오면은 아직도 뭐 니하오하고 막 그래요.
What is up everyone and hello from Mexico. Well, we are here for the World Cup to see Korea play against Czech Republic. They play in a few days on June 11 in Guadalajara. But we're still in Mexico City and while we're here we might as well have a quick look at Pequeño Seoul, Little Seoul. I read a line that there's an area, it's called, what was it called? Zona Rosa.
Pink zone, just like this color here.
Like this color here. With a high concentration of Koreans and they established a lot of Korean businesses here. Carlos and I, we're gonna have a quick look and maybe check out a few Korean marts, maybe have some Korean food later. Let's go. But it's an unofficial K-Town. The one in Guatemala is official. I've been to the K-Town in Guatemala City and that's an official one.
They have like a designation from the government?
Yes, recognized by both governments and they have the signboard. Let's hunt for Koreans.
Yeah.
We're on the Korean hunt. So it's a Centro Cultural de Lenguaje. Study Korean, the Korean fried chicken restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Korean cosmetics.
Korean cosmetics. Todos es un producto de Corea. Sí. Y es muy popular en México. Sí.
Sí, el skincare coreano sí.
Cosmetics. And she said it's quite popular these days, isn't it?
Yeah. Mil. Ghee.
Key.
Mil ghee.
Ah, ya.
Es fácil.
¿Es fácil?
Sí, es fácil.
Ah, ya.
Eso un rey coreano lo creó para que fuera fácil.
Muy fácil.
Muy fácil.
Obviously Koreans live here because they,
It's written in Korean.
yeah, they write in Korean. Let's see what else we can find.
Mate.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. I wanted to go.
Oh,
Let's check
and,
it out. So Carlos, do you feel like you're in Little Seoul?
No, a
In
little bit more. Huh?
Pequeño Seoul?
I saw the mil ghee on the door.
We have Marte,
Mate.
Huntrix, which seem to be a very popular thing here.
I think they're selling tickets.
They're selling tickets.
They say it's 100% safe. They say they can deliver immediately, and they say it's real, authentic. And we have personalized customer service
Okay.
in Monterrey.
Let's have a look inside. Oh, they're closed.
Marte.
Ah, no.
To understand why there are Koreans in Mexico, we have to go back to 1905. That's when the first Koreans arrived in the country. Over 1,000 migrants landed at the port of Salina Cruz after making the long journey across the Pacific. They had been recruited with promises of good wages and opportunities, but many were instead sent to work on henequen plantations in the Yucatan Peninsula. Life there was often harsh, and many workers became trapped in debt and poverty. Many never returned to Korea. Some simply couldn't afford the journey home. Others remained after Korea lost its independence to Japan in 1910. Many also put down roots in Mexico, starting families and building new communities. Some even married the Yucatec Maya and learned their language. Today, certainly descendants of those first migrants can still be found in Yucatan. Mixed race Korean Maya. How fascinating is this?
You're right, a North Korean flag. Interesting. Koreatown. It's a 식품점. Cool, it's nice to see a Korean super. This is a nice one, by the way. It's butak mayo.
like it?
Yeah, it's a good one. 우리 여기 K-Town 어떤지 궁금했는데
멀리 왔어요. 세계 반대편에서 왔어요.
어디 사셨어요?
15년 살았어요.
15년?
와.
자나 살기 생활
예전은 좋았어요. 날씨도 한국보다 훨씬 좋고 별로 덥지도 않고 춥지도 않고 지금 많이 바뀌었어요.
네.
왔어요?
바뀌어서 한국 장마 같아요.
그래요?
우기철이 한국 장마 같아요. 지금 엄청 끈적거리고 제주도도 엄청 끈적거리고
그렇죠.
근데 요즘에 굉장히 끈적거려요. 원래 이런 날씨가 아니거든요. 뭐 살기가 좋으니까 멕시코가 훨씬 더 여유롭고
근데 여기 한국 사람 진짜 많이
옛날에는 많았어요. 지금은 많이 줄었어요.
왜요?
몬테레이로 많이 갔어요. 몬테레이 걔들
아, 몬테레이.
전차 있잖아요. 네, 그렇기 때문에 일자리 따라서 다들 다 이동해요.
거기 돈이 많아요?
돈 많죠. 거기 뭐 지나다니는 개들도 500페소에 밀고 다닌다는
아 진짜 나무에서 이렇게 남편님 나오는 것처럼.
거기는 돈 많아요.
근데 신기하네. 여기도 김밥 있고
예.
여기 만드신 거예요?
예, 저희가 직접
직접
거예요.
만
네, 만든
직접
거예요.
만드셨어요?
네.
멕시코에서 한국 관심이 많아요?
요즘에 많이 올랐죠. 그래도 여기는 미국보단 덜해요. 미국보단 덜하고 밑에 남미보다 좀 덜해요. 아직도 들어와서 여기 오면 아직도 뭐 니하오하고 막 그래요. 왜냐면 여기 애들은 멕시코 사람들은 이렇게 얘기하면 좀 안 좋은데 교육 수준이 많이 떨어지다 보니까 동양인들 보면 다 중국 사람인 줄 알아요. 그러니까 그게 저희 뭐 동네 뭐 친호 그러고 뭐 이런 게 모르는 사람 입장에서는 이제 인종차별인데 아는 사람들은 안타깝죠. 모르는 거니까요. 중국만 있는 줄 알아요.
네.
아예 몰라요. 동양인들은 다 중국 사람인 거예요 그냥. 그리고 한국 음식 하고 중국 음식하고 몰라요.
아,
한국도 중국하고 똑같은 음식을 먹는다고 생각해요.
그래, 나 중국 음식.
네, 다 중국 음식 먹는 줄 알아요. 그래서 와서 나 한국 사람이야, 중국 음식 몰라 물어보면 몰라 그러면은 왜 몰라? 중국 음식 먹는 거 아니야? 다들 이런 반응을.
This is something I didn't know, that most Koreans, they move to Monterrey. That's where the real Korean K-Town is today. But if you walk around here, it doesn't feel like Pequeño Seoul at all. I'm walking around in Mexico now with a gimbap in my hand. There's a casino on the other side. It's written in Hangul, Casino Laipe. So when you come to Zona Rosa, you will see the rainbow flag a lot, because this area is also very popular in the LGBTQ community. It's a very diverse community. So look at this, guys. We have a Korean restaurant, a nice samgyeop and budae-jjigae. Budae-jjigae. So we asked the Sergeant if he could recommend us a Korean restaurant, and he said go to Goyangchip. He said overall the Korean restaurants here aren't, I don't know, he wasn't too positive about them. If you have to go to one restaurant, he would go to Goyangchip. And it's right over there. All right, they actually had some celebrities here. I don't know any of them. 네, 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하십니까.
네.
사장님. 네, 반갑습니다.
네, 두 명.
네, 두 명입니다.
So far, what's your impression? K-Town,
K-Town
Little Seoul.
feels like it's a very alive neighborhood that is very Mexican with some Korean seasonings on the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Charming, actually.
Yes, it's super charming.
It's really charming.
어디 사셨어요?
오래 살았어요.
그래,
26년 살았어요.
20년.
26년.
26년.
6년째.
와.
26.
그때는 왜 오러 왔어요?
그때 한국 IMF 터졌잖아요.
네.
IMF 그때 왔어요.
아,
그때들 다들 그냥 한국 떠난 사람들 많았어요. 여기 날씨 너무 좋아요.
네.
봤죠?
한국보다
더 좋아요. 더워도 습기가 없어.
맞아요.
네, 한국은 습기가 많아가지고
네.
더워도 그냥 가만히 있어도 땀이 줄줄줄줄 그러는데 여기는 한번 더워도 그늘만 피하면은 햇볕만 피하면 그늘로 딱 들어오면 너무 시원하고
맞아요.
그리고 밤에는 또 너무 시원해.
네.
가을 날씨야 밤이.
Wow, guys, check this out. This is the top floor of the restaurant. Look at this. This is all open, and the weather, fantastic. Yesterday we walked around through the city, and there wasn't much like extra security going on, because the World Cup is starting soon. But today we see a lot of those trucks driving around with either police or military sitting on the back with big guns.
The Koreans in Zona Rosa are mostly part of a newer migration wave. This wave began in the 1970s and grew significantly during the 1990s and early 2000s. Many arrived from South Korea, while others came from Korean communities elsewhere in Latin America, seeking new economic opportunities. Over time, they established businesses and built a community here in Zona Rosa, creating what became known as Little Seoul. Then, from the 2010s onward, something changed. Many of the customers were no longer Korean, but Mexican. Driven by the growing popularity of K-pop, K-dramas and Korean food, the area transformed into a destination for Mexicans interested in Korean culture. But Zona Rosa isn't the only place where Korea has left its mark on Mexico City.
Carlos and I were looking for the Korean pavilion in Mexico City. Apparently there is one.
It's in the map, but
It's supposed to be here in the park, somewhere in the corner over there. And a guy told us that we're not allowed to go there.
because we're under 60.
Yes, we're under 60. Everything beyond this fence is only accessible when you're over 6 years old. That's not what the map told us. And we just walked an hour to get here. We really did. We found it, guys. The Korean pavilion. It's a nice pavilion. So is this here since 1968?
Yeah, that's.
No way, is it that old?
Say it. Yeah. that's
Oh, it's
what
an
they
actual historical pavilion.
say. Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah? I expect it to be something newer.
That was the year that Mexico had the Olympics. 68.
Ah, 68 is the year that North Korea tried to kill
Oh, that's true.
President Park
That's
Chung-hee.
true. Buondong.
Yes.
Damu.
Yeah, right where you live now.
Damulo.
All right.
Park Chung-hee was the one that gave this.
Yes.
Made it.
Yeah. So we have Little Seoul, we have the Korean Pavilion, and then there is the Korea Cultural Center, which is in the street behind us. That's where we go next. And that's about everything related to Korea here in Mexico City. All right, let's go. Goodbye, Pavilion. You were good. I have to go to the bathroom, so I will use the toilet at the Cultural Center. And what I hope is that they have the Korean bidet. So far, I haven't seen a bidet in Mexico yet.
That's true.
So we're almost at the Korea Culture Center, and it's in a very fancy neighborhood.
Very fancy.
So far, this has been
Wow.
the best neighborhood in Mexico City.
Polanco.
It's the buildings, the shops, the cars, everything. The whole vibe is just completely different.
I know this video is a bit short and honestly I wasn't entirely sure what to expect when I came here. but I wanted to give you an idea of some of the Korea-related places you can find in Mexico City. If you're interested in learning more about Korea, the Korean Cultural Center is a great place to start. They have an exhibition about baekje right now. Today was more of a side quest, a chance to get a glimpse of the Korean community in Mexico City and see how Korean culture has found a home on the other side of the world. But the most meaningful part of this trip was still ahead of us. In the next video, we meet a Mexican-Korean war veteran and hear his remarkable story. It turned out to be a very emotional encounter, and one that I will never forget. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Houdoe!